You are 62. You shuffle into the bathroom, turn on the shower, wait for the water to get nice and warm, and you do exactly what your circulation has been doing for years. You play it safe. Your heart barely has to try, your blood vessels never get surprised. Your nervous system never has to wake all the way up. Then you step out, dry off, look down, and quietly think, yeah, that looks like a man who has not challenged his blood flow in a long time. Today's doctor's secret is not a pill. It is one very specific way to use cold water for 60 to 90 seconds each morning, a trick that can start training your blood vessels, your nerves, and your brain to support stronger erections again over the next 7 days, and by beyond, not by freezing your balls off. By copying in a safe way the same kind of vascular stress and adaptation that modern ED clinics are trying to create with expensive devices. How cold shocks your circulation in a useful way. When cold water hits your skin, your body goes into keep me alive mode. Within seconds, nerves fire and blood vessels in your skin and extremities narrow vasoconstriction to shunt warm blood back toward your core and vital organs. Controlled studies and reviews show that acute cold exposure increases blood pressure and total peripheral resistance mainly through cutaneous vasoconstriction and sympathetic fight or flight activation. When extremities are immersed or exposed, peripheral vessels alternate between vasoconstriction and vasodilation, the hunting reaction cycling blood away from and back to tissues. Repeated cold exposure appears to blunt excessive sympathetic responses and improve cardiovascular adaptability, with cold-adapted people showing more efficient, less extreme blood pressure and nerve reactions. In plain language, short, smart cold exposure forces your circulatory system to work. It clamps down, then relaxes. It redistributes blood, increases venous return and cardiac output, and over time can make your vascular system more efficient at moving blood where it needs to go. Several health sources now highlight that cold showers and cold water therapy improve overall circulation by making your body work to maintain core temperature. Trigger norepinephrine release, which increases alertness and has anti-inflammatory effects. May stimulate nitric oxide production and strengthen vessel walls via repeated constriction dilation cycles, potentially enhancing vascular health. Here is the key. Cold water is not a direct cure for ED. Sexual health resources are clear that there is no strong clinical evidence that cold showers by themselves fix erectile dysfunction, and overdoing cold can temporarily make erections harder to get by clamping vessels too much. But as a daily training stress, like a mini workout for your vessels and nervous system, short, well-timed cold exposure can support the same cardiovascular and autonomic mechanisms that underlie good erections, responsive arteries, healthy endothelium, and a nervous system that can shift out of constant the 7-day cold finish routine. That is what your 7-day cold shower trick is designed to tap into. It is about using the last 60 to 90 seconds of your normal shower to send a precise signal to your circulation, especially around your hips and legs, where the arteries that feed your penis actually start. Step 1. Warm up first 3 to 5 minutes. Take your normal warm shower. Let your heart rate come up a bit, muscles relax, and blood vessels open. This pre-warms your core and reduces the shock of the cold phase, which is especially important if you are over 60 or have any cardiovascular risk. Step 2. The first cool hit 20 to 30 seconds. Turn the tap down from pleasant to comfortably cool, not glacial. Cool enough that your body clearly notices. Aim the water from your knees up to your hips and lower belly, keeping your chest and head mostly out of the stream at first. Breathe steadily through your nose if you can. For 20 to 30 seconds, your skin vessels in the legs and pelvis constrict, shunting blood to the core and making your heart and deeper vessels work a little harder. Step 3. Back to warm 40 to 60 seconds. Turn the water warm again. Stay under it for 40 to 60 seconds, letting your legs and hips re-warm. Your vessels dilate, blood returns. The hunting reaction starts to move blood back into the skin and superficial tissues. You have just done one constrict dilate cycle, a gentle vascular push-up. Step 4. Repeat for 2 to 3 cycles. Alternate 20 to 30 seconds, cool on hips, glutes, thighs, and calves, 40 to 60 seconds warm. Total 2 to 3 cycles finishing on warm unless your doctor has specifically cleared you to end cold. As days go by, if you tolerate it well, you can add your upper body torso shoulders into the cool phase. Slightly extend the cool intervals up to 45 seconds as long as you are breathing calmly and not shivering uncontrollably. Remember, the goal is controlled stress, not suffering. This contrast pattern does three important things for erection. Relevant physiology. Trains smooth muscle in your vessel walls to constrict and relax on command. Challenges your endothelium with changing flow states, which longer term can support better nitric oxide-mediated dilation. Stimulates norepinephrine and vagal balance, which can improve alertness in the morning, and autonomic flexibility, both tied to better sexual function. Do this every morning for 7 days and you are giving your circulation a stimulus it may not have seen in years. You will not rebuild decades of damage in a week. But many men notice, even in that first week, feeling more awake, less sluggish in their legs, and more charged overall, conditions that set the stage for stronger erections when arousal actually comes. Add movement. The 60-second pre-shower pump. Cold works best when your blood is already moving. So before you even step into the shower, add a tiny warm-up, no equipment, no drama, 20 to 30 seconds of marching in place or gentle step-ups on a low step. 10 easy bodyweight squats going only as low as your knees and hips feel comfortable. This muscle activity increases blood flow through your leg and pelvic arteries. Raises shear stress on your endothelium, a well-studied trigger for nitric oxide production and improved arterial function. Then, your contrast shower takes that already moving blood and makes your vessels work to redirect and redistribute it. It is a far cry from a clinical shockwave device, but conceptually, you are still doing what those multimodal 2025 ED protocols are built on: repeated safe stress and recovery for the vascular system that feeds your erections. Safety expectations and how this actually helps erections. A few straight talk points before you crank your shower to Antarctica. Cold is a circulatory stress. Reviews make it clear that acute cold exposure raises blood pressure and sympathetic tone, especially in people with hypertension or cardiovascular disease. If you have unstable heart disease, arrhythmias, very high blood pressure, or feel chest pain or severe dizziness with cold, you must clear any cold routine with your own doctor first. Cold showers are not a proven ED cure. Sexual health resources emphasize that short-term cold exposure can temporarily make erections more difficult by causing vasoconstriction, and that there is no robust clinical evidence that cold showers alone reverse ED. What they can do is support overall vascular health and autonomic balance, two pillars that ED and heart disease reviews keep linking together. You still need the basics. For real ED repair, this trick has to sit on top of decent blood pressure, sugar, and lipid control. Some weekly walking or exercise, not smoking. Evaluating hormones and medications if your ED is moderate-severe. So what might you actually feel in 7 days, waking up more alert and switched on after your shower? Legs and feet that feel warmer and lighter once you have re-warmed. A subtle but growing sense that your body is responding again, that when you do get aroused, there is a bit more pressure and willingness than there was before. Over weeks to months, stacked with better habits and, if needed, proper medical treatment, this kind of vascular training can contribute to improved endothelial function and nitric oxide signaling. Better global circulation and metabolic health. A nervous system that can actually swing from stressed and shut down into relaxed and ready when intimacy is on the table. Cold water is not the hero, your blood vessels are. The doctor's secret is simply this: if you give those vessels a smart challenge every morning instead of wrapping them in warm, predictable comfort, they are far more likely to be there for you when the lights go off.